Hello, gentlemen, and welcome to yet another episode of Gentlemen's Club Whiskey. I'm your host, Mark Antimate, and in today's episode, I'm going to be conducting the review over the Chita grain whiskey from Suntory. Now, I've reviewed this whiskey before, prior, maybe about 3 years ago, over on the Gentlemen's Club YouTube channel, but what I had to say about it then is not necessarily how I feel about it now. And it's just time to update that review. And I don't like my voice and how I speak about it not so eloquently and not so accurately, so I'm just going to have to do away with the old review. Don't go looking for that one because it will have been deleted by the time that I upload this one over to Gentlemen's Club Whiskey, the channel that you're watching now. So let me speak on this one and give an introduction to the Chita whiskey before we go ahead and give it the tasting review. Now, I'm a little bit confused about this one because this comes from Keizo Saji. This is the son of Shinjiro Torii, and he was trying to do something back in the 70s and be really creative and expand the company, right? And in 1973, make sure that you listen well and pay attention to these years, because in the year 1973, Keizo Saji had opened up the Hakushu Distillery in Yamanashi Prefecture, which is west of and bordering Tokyo. And they called that Suntory's second distillery. But this Chita Distillery, which is a production house for grains, opened in 1972, 1 year prior to the Hakushu Distillery. So why do they call the Hakushu the second distillery? And anyways, I don't know. I can't wrap my head around it. But let me give you a close look at the bottle here. This is not necessarily a miniature, but it's like a half-size bottle. This one is, how many milliliters is this? This is not even half size. This is 180 milliliters. This is a new release from 2019. When I say new release, I mean this bottle sizing. So like I've said, I've had it before, but I didn't necessarily want to go out and buy a full-size bottle. It was just easier to get this, I guess for lack of better words, we're going to call this a miniature, even though they even have smaller than this. It was just easier for me to go out and get this miniature size bottle because I'm just buying this just for this review. Let's go ahead and open this up. I guess I'm going to do this on camera. Like the other brethren, the Yamazaki and the Hakushu, this one comes with a screw cap and no cork. But I prefer it that way because it means less of your whiskeys escaping and giving the angels their share. So I'm a big fan of this. But like those, this is only 43% ABV. And this is a grain whiskey, whereas those are single malt whiskeys. So this is quite rather a new product, I would say. This is going off the top of head here. I believe the Suntory Chita whiskey, the one that I actually have in hand, debuted in 2015. It could have been a little bit later. Correct me if I'm wrong. But before this whiskey ever debuted to market, the distillery was always there. And about that distillery, that one is located on the Chita Peninsula, which is south of Nagoya City. And so it's a part of Aichi Prefecture. And they're mainly using corn grain and a continuous multiple column distillation process there to make 3 types of grain whiskeys, a heavy type grain and a medium type and a clean type, I guess, what you could consider light. And they have been using these grain whiskeys to put in some of their other blended whiskeys, such as the hibikis. Now let's talk about the whiskey itself there. So even though Keizo Saji was the one that created this Chita Distillery, he was not the one that was responsible for making the actual Chita single grain whiskey itself. That goes to Shinji Fukiya, who is now the master blender. And like I said, it came out in 2015. Now, this is a fact here. What I'm going to tell you guys next is that this grain whiskey was aged in wine and Spanish oak cask in addition to American white oak. Now, this information is coming from Suntory. So this is not just me speaking off the cuff. Suntory says this makes for a result that is more milder and a smoother grain whiskey that is different from other ordinary grain whiskeys used in blended whiskey. So I don't have too much more to say about this one. I guess I said everything that I needed to. We'll just keep this as brief as possible. But anyways, make sure that you stay tuned for that review because I really want you guys to know my thoughts on this one, as I did have some disdain for it before, but like I said, or may not have said, it has been growing on me. Anyways, gentlemen, salute to you wherever you may be out in the world. Always make sure that you drink responsibly and you know what to do. Keep it classy.